You will remember this like it was 2 months ago. The president promising executive action on immigration reform ASAP.
I expect the recommendations before the end of the summer, and I intend to adopt those recommendations without further delay.
The president said he had to act because congressional Republicans refused to.
It's just politics, plain and simple.
That was so June 30th. This weekend, the White House let it be known the president would delay any action on immigration until after the midterm elections. Is that politics, plain and simple? Joining me now from along the border in Brownsville, Texas, is Democrat Tony Cárdenas, whose district, by the way, is near Los Angeles. Congressman, has the president betrayed the Latino community?
Well, we all are frustrated with him right now because he's taken way too long to take his executive actions. But unfortunately, Candy, it's really been the disgusting do-nothing Congress that has actually forced his hand to have to even contemplate taking executive action. So I think the first blame is with Congress not doing its job, and now the president is forced to have to take a measure like executive actions.
Well, except for that he isn't for, I mean, he has a free hand in when he plans to do the executive actions. So the question really is, was this a political move? We know that there have been some of your colleagues, Democrats mostly on the Senate side, saying, do not take this action, which, as far as we understand it, would be to allow some undocumented workers who are here with no criminal record to stay without fear of deportation. That's what we thought he was going to do. He said he would do it June 30th. ASAP, end of summer is what he mentioned. Now he's not doing it. Why is that?
Well, the president, when the Hispanic caucus, and I was there at the meeting in the White House with the president and the vice president, the president said he was going to do it. He said he was going to take some time to analyze it, do it right. We were just hoping he would do it this summer since Congress hasn't taken action. But again, Candy, it's really Congress that isn't doing its job. In any environment, a work environment or at home, if somebody isn't doing their chores, if somebody isn't doing their part, we shouldn't be too upset with the person who's having to pick up after the other person and do their job as well.
Okay, I understand you're a Democrat and the president is the party leader as well as the president, but we have heard nothing but criticism, and pretty harsh criticism from advocacy groups for Latinos and for undocumented workers, saying this is a betrayal. The president is playing politics. Do you share any of that outrage?
Well, I believe that when we met with the president, he meant what he said. I think the president eventually is going to take executive action because I don't see Speaker Boehner or the Republicans coming to do their job and actually put something on the floor so we can all vote for it, like the Senate passed by 68 out of 100 votes. But at the same time, Candy, I'll tell you honestly, the bottom line is, of course, there's some politics going on. I don't like what the president's advisors may be telling him. I can only speculate that they've encouraged him to wait, but I would prefer that he do it now. There are 11 million people here in the shadows in the United States, and by and large, Candy, they're here to work, and they're a boon to our economy. For example, if the president were just to do parole in place, that would affect a few million people and allow them to work, have a work visa while they're here, while they're getting their documentation in order, and that a lot of businesses around the country on better footing.
Bottom line, Congressman, when and if the president acts after the midterm elections, do you think the Latino community, which, as you know, largely votes Democratic, will forgive him for what right now they are really outraged about?
Well, the fact of the matter, it doesn't look like President Obama is going to be on the ballot ever again. He's president. He's serving his second term. But when it comes to the Latino community, they're frustrated with the president, but I think they're really pissed off with the Republican Party and what they represent, and the fact that there were some Republicans who united with Democrats and passed by 68 votes comprehensive immigration reform, and yet it sits in the House that's controlled by Republicans, and we have not had an opportunity to debate it. We have not had an opportunity to vote on it. So Republicans and Democrats in our House have not had the opportunity to show the leadership and put our vote to our name and show the public where we stand.
Democrat Tony Cárdenas. Congressman, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much, Candy.
Next up, how